Welcome back to the Whiskey Couch with me, GUSTAV MULLER, as your host. Today's whiskey is a is a world best, the best single malt whiskey in the world. Kavalan Solist Vinho Barrique. But let me first talk about the distillery before I get to the whiskey. The distillery where this whiskey is produced is the King Car Kavalan Distillery. It is situated in Yilan County in Taiwan, and it was founded in 2005, so only 12 years old and already producing world-class whiskey. It is owned by the King Car Food Industrial Company, and the visiting center of this distillery is especially popular with more than 1 million visits annually. In the 2011 Whisky Magazine, it received the award for the Whisky Attraction of the Year. So very popular visiting center at the Kavalan Distillery. The whiskey, Kavalan Solist Vinho Barrique. In 2015, at the World Whiskies Awards, this whiskey received the award for the year's best single malt in the world. Quite an achievement. Kavalan, the whiskey, is named after the indigenous people who originally inhabited the area in the northeastern corner of the island of Taiwan, where this distillery is situated. It is bottled at cask strength, so it varies depending on the cask, but this particular one, 57.1 ABV alcohol by volume, which is pretty high. So this is a very high alcohol whiskey, and because of that you also get the cask and the bottle number on the whiskey, on the bottle. You also get a very nice certificate with all of the information about this whiskey, together with the packaging. A very dark color. The packaging says that it is a deep autumn gold, but for me it is more like a brown sherry. If you have a look at my color chart, or the color chart that I'm using, it's right at the very dark end over there. Dark brown sherry, very dark color. The packaging says that on the nose you can expect a lot of vanilla, caramelized sugars, melon, mango, kiwi and citrus. Let's see if I agree with that today. I get the vanilla is there. Caramelized sugars, so I'm not getting the melon. I'm getting the mango but not the kiwi. Of the citrus, I'm getting some ripe tropical fruit, but what is quite overwhelming in this nose is the basket of fruits that is just sort of in your face. It's not hiding away, it's just right there. And in that basket of fruits, I'm getting a lot of red grapes, blackberries, plums, dates. It is a basket of dark, ripe fruits in this nose. Raisins. And even though not matured in sherry cask, I'm getting a bit of sherry aromas. And then there's fruit cakes and baking spices. This is a complex nose. This is a nose that just overwhelms you. It's wonderful. This whiskey was matured in white oak casks, which they took through 4 very distinct processes. The first was to air dry these casks for 2 years. And then they soaked these casks in some of the best red and white wines, or they soaked them with some of the best red and white wines from California, after which they retoasted and re-charred the casks to get the maximum flavor input from the wood. Non-chill filtered and no coloring added. Complex, rich, overwhelming nose. The complexity goes straight to your palate, but the 57.1% alcohol by volume is hectic. You can taste it. It is quite serious. Even though it's a no-age statement whiskey, I detect very little youthfulness. It is in fact very complex. There is a lot going on in this whiskey on the palate. I get some peppery oak spices. I get that basket of fruits, but now it is like all of those fruits are caramelized in dark brown sugar, resulting in this caramel sugar syrup that's all over the place. There's some fruity dark chocolate going on here. It is just a magnificent palate. It's something unique. It almost reminds me of a brandy or a cognac with those red wine cask, charred casks influence. Raisins, spiced vanilla. Very interesting. The finish is very, very long. It's a long finish. It's luxurious. It's warm. It's creamy. Fruity dark chocolate, and then it ends with a peppery oak spice and a slightly dry note. There's also some barley cereal going on. It just continues. Smooth yet spicy. Christmas spices, toasted nuts. I've added a few drops of water. You can actually add quite a bit because of that 57 ABV. Let's see what a few drops of water does to this. I must say I love the Solist range from the Kavalan Distillery. I can understand why they chose this whiskey to be one of the best single malts, the best single malt 2015. More grape candy suddenly, if you add a bit of water, grape candy mingled with those toasted nuts and Christmas spices and raisins. It just gets more creamy if you add a bit of water, more and more creamy. Price wise, this whiskey sells for between 270 and 300 US dollars, around 200 British pounds, and here in South Africa I got this for 2,200 South African rand. If you want to pair this rich, fruity, complex, magnificent whiskey with a food snack, I would recommend trying to connect with the fruit cake element, the chocolate element. So I'd recommend something like fruit cake, or even a warmed up hot cross bun with those baking spices that's in that hot cross bun with melted butter and a rich dark berry jam. That'll go very well with this. I'm thinking of a roasted beef, glazed. That'll go well with this, or glazed ribs or something like that. Pecan pie, apple crumble. But for today, I have chosen a piece of sushi, spiced tuna sushi with a drop or two of soy sauce and a bit of ginger at the top. Seeing that this is a Taiwanese whiskey, and I tell you now, after you've tasted this whiskey and that food pairing, you will agree that Taiwan is the land of whiskey and sushi. So let's see how this is going to work. Spiced tuna sushi. The rich soy sauce. I'm not going to say anything. All I'm going to say is you have to try this. Definitely. Thank you for watching. See you again tomorrow. More whiskey tasting, whiskey reviews, and whiskey and food pairings to come. Cheers.